We'll call the Scottsboro work session Monday, May 20th, the order of invocation given by Gary Stewart and the pledge of allegiance given by Greg Mashburn.
Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the many blessings you have given us. We ask now that you watch over these proceedings and they'll be pleasing in your sight. We ask that you watch over the employees, the citizens of Scottsboro, and the citizens of this country as they go about their daily lives. Please bring the military home safely to their families. Guard, guide, and direct us so in the end we knock unto thee. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the work session is to recognize the Scottsboro High School teams. With that being said, after we get finished recognizing, we'll take just a minute or two to let y'all leave. Y'all want to hang around and listen about budget amendments and such. So, with that, Mayor, you're up front.
Will the men from the Scottsboro Wrestling Duels please come forward?
This is a certificate of recognition from the City of Scottsboro, from the Mayor and Council, presented to the Scottsboro Wrestling Duels State Champions 2019 school year. Congratulations.
Come on, Dave. Don't know how they ever won, huh?
Thanks again.
Congratulations, y'all. Will the gentleman from the Scottsboro Boys Cross Country State Championship team please come forward?
Gosh, you can tell they're runners, they're not skinny.
I can guarantee you it's not even 6 o'clock. I've never done this in my life.
This one, she said this is.
We do this at the school board. You mean the same thing that we've already did? I've never been in this one.
This certificate is in recognition of the Scottsboro Boys Cross Country on being Alabama High School 5A state champions. Congratulations.
It's a wagon.
Good job.
Gentlemen from the Scottsboro Boys Indoor Track State Champions.
Few different ones, don't we? Once again, this is in recognition for the Scottsboro boys indoor track on being Alabama High School 5A state champions for 2019 school year. Congratulations. Do it again.
Her name.
Yeah, a few places.
Some of y'all may stay here with the gentlemen of the Scottsboro boys outdoor track 5A state champions.
Let's get in a little more. Let's get in a little
Somebody's gonna have to.
You need to make a front row?
Probably. I'd say some of them probably do.
All right, guys. Come on, Grace. Some guys are Hey, all right, don't forget that. There you go.
There we go. This certificate is in recognition of the Scottsboro boys outdoor track on being the Alabama High School 5A state champions. So congratulations.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
With the ladies of Scottsboro girls cross country 5A state champions. Team, please come
I'm sorry. Everybody be
This group's better looking.
They look like Renner's finger on us.
This certificate is for the Scottsboro girls cross country on being Alabama High School 5A state champions 2019 school year. Congratulations.
with the ladies of the Scottsboro girls outdoor track team, 5A state champions. It's not often that we have a room this full of champions.
This certificate is in recognition of the Scottsboro girls outdoor track on being the Alabama High School 5A state champions.
Good job, ladies.
That's all. That's it, guys.
As Mr. Stewart did, what is the wishes?
For the storm shelter. Looks like we would be discussing the remaining balance of $46,283.
We could.
Mayor?
Yeah, I was gonna say, we had set aside some money for this project. We just need to officially move forward so that we can issue a PO to survive a storm so that they can go ahead and start the process for manufacturing this shelter.
On this bid, is this count everything except the dirt work?
Yes,
Is,
this is what's not included is the city furnish where we build the pad.
Are we building, are we gonna pay for the concrete, or is that included from?
No, they do it.
Okay.
But we are looking at a total of $46,283 for budget amendment for that.
Correct.
Okay. Any discussion on that? If not, we'll move that on to tonight's agenda. Go to item number 3, discuss financing for the knuckle booms. It was recommended by the bid review committee that the bid be awarded to First Jackson Bank as the lowest responsible bidder that met specifications. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, what we did after, if you'll remember, we had gone ahead and we bought one knuckle boom with sales tax, and then we had committed 2 lease payments on the other 2 knuckle booms when we issued the purchase order to purchase 3 knuckle booms. So I passed out a sheet that showed where we had pledged $156,994 out of sales tax. And then we had gotten a quote, and that lease payment was based on 4% interest from the company financing the 2 of the knuckle booms. So after we gotten the good rates on the fire trucks, we issued a request for the local banks to bid to see if we financed the entire purchase of the knuckle booms. And so in the proposal, we'd set up to $425,000, and these are the rates that came back, with First Jackson Bank being at 2.85. And so that's why we obtained financing rates. And so what I had proposed, or I am proposing to the council, we had pledged $156,994 out of sales tax, but if you award the bid for financing to First Jackson Bank, if we only made it, it's a bookkeeping thing, but if we only pledged 10% down payment out of the sales tax, that would free up $114,557 that could go towards paving or something else out of sales tax. But the reason we did that is to get a better rate. We felt like we could get a better rate on financing the knuckle booms than the company at 4%, and we did. It's 2.85. So that's what I guess led to all of this.
Any questions?
When we approved that first truck, Mayor,
Yes.
you said it had been ordered. When is it going to be?
I'm sorry. Well, we ordered all 3. Ended up, we were in that time frame that we could get all 3 trucks, and they're supposed to be here the 1st of July. And we've not had to make a down payment or anything. We just did purchase orders and a commitment.
And that, I guess it 4 ties on number 5, which is about the repairs. But
Yes, sir.
how many trucks have we got running right now?
Today, we had 2.
That's what we're running every day.
No, well, we were back up to 5, and then we've got a transmission that's under warranty that went back to the shop, and then we've got there's a hydraulic pump, I think, in the quote, and then we've got another part ordered on that.
That's all I got. I'll talk about the rest of it.
Rick, what is your opinion on leasing these? Would you rather buy the one from a financial standpoint, or?
Well, I mean, it's kind of up to you guys what you want to do with it. The one thing that you do if you're financing, you put your budget from here on for the next 4 or 5 years, however long that you do. That's gonna be on that budget every year from now on. So it's kind of up to you guys what you want to do, but that's the option that you have.
On the financing, I know the IDB they solicited and they have moved their bond proceeds till they spend it in a money market account, and BBVA Compass quoted them a 2.25% interest rate. So, I mean, if we've got 3 years to use that bond money, and I don't know how fast we'll go through it. I hope we don't go through it extremely fast, but if we set some of the money, bond money back and draw interest, and I think Brad said they would pay 2%, didn't they?
Yeah,
I mean, that was not a formal quote, but I guess my point is, if we know we need to do some street paving, and if we can use some of our bond money and get 2% or better on it, and that interest offsets some of the finance charge on our knuckle button.
Personally, I would like to finance all of them and free up that $114,000 to go court pay. We've got a lot of payments needs done, and that's one of the complaints that we hear pretty regular.
So that's a concern of mine. I know we're allocating a lot of that. I'd like to see a couple of months set aside going forward. That's just my opinion.
So, Greg, what you're saying is, you'd rather finance them all, or you want to not allocate from sales tax?
I don't really want to allocate from sales tax.
Okay, the other option would be to finance
Yeah,
it all.
and I'm not against financing, but I'm gonna go with what Mr. Woodard recommends, because he's a finance guy.
Well, if we continue to just pay for the one that's allocated, the 141, the lease payment, this is a better rate if we just finance 2 from First Jackson versus the other person. So we're definitely saving on that amount. That makes sense, what I said.
And I understood what you said. Even if you pay for one item sales tax this year and finance the other 2, if you go with First Jackson, you'll pay an interest rate of 2.85%
Versus
as
4.
opposed to 4%.
Yes,
So save 1.05%
Yes, sir.
on those amounts of money.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Any other discussion? We'll put that on tonight's agenda as well. Go to item number 4, discuss the forestry proposal. I know that Mr. Rye had given us quite a few options for that. Mayor, do you have anything you want to add on that?
I just want to clarify, I think there might have been some confusion in the
The proposal is for pine only. I think it's, and he's got in here, what he had suggested, it's 269 acres that would be flagged. And he's proposing, he felt like as far as aesthetics and best price would be to thin it for quail hunting. Not that we're starting a quail preserve, but that's just a good term, is how he proposed it versus clear cut. And then he had, in our communication since then, he had suggested that bid opening date, if it did get approved to move forward, we'd move it back to June 11th. That would just give them a little more time to look at it. He felt like we'd get some good prices. It would be a 2-year contract. If that property were ever sold or something ever happened, the contract could be transferred to the new property owner. But I feel like it's been several years since it's been timbered, and it's, he said there was some beetles in there and infestation. It's just good property management. And some revenue coming in.
Any questions on that?
Now, if we were to cut this, and say, well cut, with that money, can we put it back into that place? If we were gonna cut it, I'd like to see it go back in.
Yeah, reinvest it.
Yes, I mean, make it a steady income for the city.
Yeah.
And so, that's just a suggestion.
The only question I had last time on it was if some investors came in and wanted to buy some of this property, how would that interfere with that? And I think that got cleared up tonight. If we were to sell any of this property, it could be transferred over to the buyer.
It could. And I've got a separate letter from him, and I wasn't gonna really get into it tonight, but, and it talks about appraisal of property and comps and so forth, and a lot of times the property value is not, nothing against appraisers, and don't print something in the paper that I'm throwing appraisers under the bus, but a lot of times on large tracts of land like this, when potential developers looking at it, they're looking at location, and the comps are not based on timber, and that the appraisal value doesn't consider the timber value there, but the buyer will, and they're going to use that to offset their investment. So, he said there's some revenue sitting there that's not going to affect the value of the property. Because if the developer was to ever get it, they're going to timber based on roads or whatever they do anyway.
Anything else? We'll put that on tonight's agenda as well. Go to item number 5, discuss the budget amendment for the knuckle boom repairs.
You have that?
I don't have that. That's what I was looking for. I was like,
I didn't know Whitney had passed that down, sorry. I didn't know she had.
So we need to do a budget amendment for $4,661.46 for the knuckle boom repairs. Any questions on that? If not, we'll move that on to tonight's agenda as well. Go to item number 6. Discuss the fire department financing resolution. Basically, this, we would be approving that the city council of the city of Scottsboro does hereby direct the mayor and fire chief to sign any documents.
Everything else has already been approved. That was just a gap that might needed to finalize documents.
Little housekeeping.
Yeah. Any discussion on that? If not, we'll put that on tonight's agenda as well. Go to item number 6, discuss the Heritage Center. Greg?
Yeah, well, I wish, of course, Miss Ivy's not here tonight, but I know we had got, I guess, Mayor, you had sent some information out that the closest bid or projected cost
From
had,
Christine, yes,
you know, had escalated to $895,000. Is that right?
that's what she sent me.
What I would like to see, and I've talked to different ones of the council, is, you know, set aside, we've already voted to set aside $500,000, right, $500,000 for that. I do want to see them have a facility. You know, I know they work hard and I want to see that. But, you know, 2 topics down from this, we're talking about paving. And what I would like to see, and this is just a thought, is set that $500,000 aside. And then, you know, ask them to raise, you know, they're gonna have to raise, and if the community wants it, you know, they're gonna support it, okay? And get to that point. If it's $895,000, then they're gonna have to raise $495,000. 300, yeah, 395, got my number right. And let them raise that. We use that $500,000 for paving projects, okay? This is just a thought, and Mayor, you chime in however. Set that money aside. The timber that we're gonna cut on the island, whatever's recommended, you know, we pay it back through that, you know, when they raise that certain amount. But that's just my thought. And, I've been real concerned with that money, you know, cause I'm afraid it's gonna get higher. It's gonna stop at $895,000. But that's just my thoughts on it. Anybody else want to talk about it, that's fine.
One area of concern that you need to keep in mind is the money was borrowed for a specific purpose on the bond issue. The money borrowed for a specific purpose normally can only be used for that specific purpose.
Would that pass a resolution to, wouldn't we do?
Probably, I don't know if that would be all you'd have to do.
I think there's a statement in there, Rick, it lists the different items that the totality of the bond can be used for.
Yes, it's designated right now for that purpose, and for you to use that money somewhere else, you would have to go through a process to get approval through bond council to do that.
One of the, you know, that was, I guess, some of my thought process as far as financing on the knuckle booms is, you know, some of that money is not going to be used as quickly as others. And it could, you know, if we're generating some interest off that up to 3 years, could offset some of the financing costs, whatever we do on the knuckle booms. One thing, and I've got it, you know, my stuff here, because I had wondered about using some of the bond money for road paving, and I was in a meeting where Dr. Cooper talked about the new fuel tax that was going into place, and there's going to be some stricter rules on the fuel tax revenue that comes in when they start collecting that additional. And so basically, in a nutshell, if we do some road paving out of the bond money and we want to pay it back with future fuel tax, we cannot do that. We can't pay ourselves back. That money is going to have to be designated and spent at the time it's generated or in projects. In other words, we can't pay ourselves back $500,000 out of fuel tax with this. We can some other, you know, local monies and that sort of thing. So I wanted to get that cleared up. So I thought, well, if we spent $500,000 and paid ourselves back, that was technically Heritage Center or anything else money, we can't do it with that source. But along the Heritage Center, something else I know we've discussed. To get the project to bid, to see what the real numbers are, there's going to be some architect fees incurred, and I know the Heritage Center is invested in this just like the city, and as part of the total expense, if the Heritage Center wanted to start, I've not got the contract back from Christine about the project. But if we did and the city signed it, as part of their investment in this, whatever it shakes out to be, they can pay the architectural fees and get the document ready and go out to bid. Of course, once it goes out to bid, if it comes back this $895,000 or whatever comes back, the contractor's only gonna hold that price for X number of days before it had to be rebid again. So it's a dilemma. But at some point, you know, we all know that there's probably another 60 to 70 to 80,000 in architect fees to get the project ready to be bid out. And then I'll go on while I'm rambling. There's been people, and you know, we've seen it on social media, won't know how much, why is it so expensive per square foot, but the people have to realize that a home builder can't do this addition, unfortunately. It's got to be a general contractor, and you know, they've got to be on the approved list, and so those factors in itself drive the cost up. The fact that it's a historic building with an addition drives architectural fees up. I think there's another 0.25% added cost just on their fee schedule, and that's based on state fee schedule. So there's you know, it's just an expensive project.
So if we go ahead and get the architect and get the numbers and everything ready for them, and then it's 2.5 years until they're able to get their amount of money, the architect's numbers could be completely wrong, and it'd have to be done again.
Well, I would think once the documents are good enough to go out for bid, whether you have to bid it again in 12 months, that shouldn't change your design and specs on the project. It would, certainly it could affect your prices either greater or less.
It would just be material pricing and labor. Has the county been approached about trying to help with that? I know that's a dumb question. It is just the county here.
Steve, have you asked the county?
I have to ask Ms. Ivy.
I mean, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I think we do have to look at avenues.
I know in
Sure.
the past they did, I don't know if they have recently.
I've been in contact with them about helping on some road projects, and it's very possible.
We've got a meeting in another week or so about assisting on some of the roads.
Well, I think that would use up most of their excess that they would have on a project like this.
On the other side, we don't have money either. We're borrowing. You know.
I think the clarification is to make sure that they understand that that's all the money that they were going to get, and everything else over the 500,000 that they have. Right.
No, Ms. Ivy was concerned when she seen the number. At 95, she was really concerned with that number.
Anything else on the Heritage Center? I guess we need to decide whether or not we're going to move to get Christine, well, you haven't got a contract yet.
No. I'll reach out to her again and get the contract.
We'll put it back on June 3rd work session, and hopefully we'll have something by then.
Okay.
Discuss it.
Maybe Ms. Ivy could come to that work session.
Go to item number 8, discuss the paving.
I passed out an updated, I think there was 2 or 3 roads asked about, so we added that to the list. Of course, we could add several more to this. But as we've talked about earlier, you know, we've got Parks Avenue and the Garden Drive beside the junior high that are committed. West Camille, that'll be a joint venture with Water Sewer Gas. And then the industrial TDA and Best Prep We've got that committed, which is a fall project.
When did the garden drive and those other ones get committed? Is that part of the committee? Or?
Yeah, we all talked about because the school is paving front, back, and the other side at the junior high. And then Parks is part of the bridge. The paving was not part of that contract with Lambert, correct, Josh?
On a couple of these, like Bynum Park, the lot or whatever, can you not get that out of the tourism grant money? I mean, because they're ball fields that are being paid for, not a lot of tournaments that are being brought in.
Yeah, well, these are, this is to repair and the lots where we had to take out the pavement that had rolled up and we've just got gravel in some areas, and that's repairing it and sealing the lots. And then if you come on down under the culverts and all, we've got to fix that ditch bank. It's getting into the parking lot. That's putting a curb there and rip wrapping, and it's pretty expensive. It's going, and that number won't go down. It's going to continue to go up. It's, you know, if you go over there and look at that white vinyl fence, the bond can tell you it's washing away pretty bad.
I guess what we need to do is come up with a priority list as far as like this particular road, whether it's Garden Drive, and this is the amount of money that we're gonna spend on it. Are y'all gonna have a meeting?
We hadn't scheduled another one yet.
First, we need to know how much we use for paving.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was trying to,
And it makes it a little easier to figure out which streets you can do, once you know what your budget is.
You know, there was some sales tax left over from last year that was allocated. I think it was 140, and then I can't remember how much was on this current year's bid. And then we might can save 140 on those trucks, so we're looking at close to 400,000 there that we can use for paving, but we need to know how much other local money is out there before we can allocate a road, I think.
Well, if we could, or how are we gonna pay that over there at Walmart? You know, where that project right there, where that, I mean,
that's in capital money that's set aside. That project getting ready.
Y'all need to do something to authorize me to take it out of that though.
Yeah.
I think on that last list,
That's capital fund account.
coming
Yeah.
from, that's,
I think on that last list of the sales tax, it was actually showing on it, wasn't it, Rick?
No, the 110 was down here at the
That's the
intersection.
intersection.
Okay, okay,
That's in the capital fund account that's got to be moved over.
okay.
If I could interject, I think Mr. Stewart's right, that the Vinyl Park lot repairs could come out of tourism money. As opposed to the street.
It can, I think it just wiped that account out.
Something that could come out.
Yeah.
I think there's probably about 40,000 left in that account right now.
Well, I know, Meg had sent an email today about the bass, so that's gonna take some of that, that'll be on the June 3rd work session. Well, we, can y'all have another meeting?
We can, yeah, we can leave, whenever the guys get with Josh and I, we can do it. Just, we can do it before the June 3rd meeting.
Okay.
We'll work session.
Let's do 6 roads, 6 primary roads, all right?
Primary?
Primary roads that you want to see on prioritize, 6 of them. Let's, out of this list. And see where we are.
Well, we will have met with the county before the June 3rd meeting as well.
Separating between the city
Yeah.
and what the county's gonna help,
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
Any other discussion on that?
You're just gonna set the parameters on how we're gonna prioritize them. As far as safety, I guess, is number one.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think also,
Down the traffic.
we've got to see how much money we've got available to pay. We might be more than
We'll
six.
get with Rick on that capital equipment, because we don't have as much as you think on our road paving, do we?
I'm looking again, Snodgrass here, and, I mean, that's $271,000.
That's the top two. That's the
That's
one
not
up here.
too, but I'm just saying, that would wipe it out quick.
Yeah.
And so-
And that's without county.
That's without counting, yes.
I don't know if they're going to use money or in kind on that. I haven't really got an answer yet.
Yeah. Well, let's say we'll be with them next week, I think.
There's an opportunity for those two, maybe to get some federal money when this gas tax kicks in October. We could possibly apply for a TAP grant, not TAP, but A-Trip like we have Clemens and Porter and
It'd just be pushing
Ridge
it out
down
a
road.
year.
I mean, it'd be great.
it's just gonna push it out.
We push it out a year, that's the thing.
Those gotta be done.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all agree on that.
There's one street on here that's not mentioned that the county may also be able to help us with, and that's County Park Road. I have a lot of people that live in that area that have complained about the road, how rough it is. Oh, no. But, other people that live in the area complained about it, and could the county not help us with that since it leads to the county park? Certain areas. I think that should be added to the list for the county park. Sure. To discuss with the county.
Anything else? Take a short recess.
We're not.
2 minutes. No. Formalities given at the preceding work session. Mr. Kenner, will you do a roll call, please?
Mr. Patrick Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Ashburn.
Here.
Mr. Harrington.
Here.
Mr. Mashburn.
Here.
Mr. Bailey.
Here.
Mr. President, there's a quorum present for conducting business.
Thank you. Before we adopt the agenda, I'd like to go over that. The amendment, first item is the amendment for the storm shelter. Second one is the financing for the knuckle booms. Third one's the forestry proposal to approve for the bid opening. Number 4 is the budget for the knuckle boom repairs. And number 5 is the fire department financing resolution. So that being said, I have a motion to adopt the agenda.
I make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Adoption of the agenda is approved. There's no approval of previous minutes, so we'll go straight to the new business of amendment for the storm shelter. And that was $46,283. I have a motion to approve the amendment for the storm shelter.
I make it motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Not vote, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Approved. Go to item number 2, the financing for the knuckle boom. This is where we have to clarify exactly what we want to do. Mr. Cameron?
Yes, the city of Scottsboro posted 1, mailed 7, and received 3 bids for knuckle boom financing. They ranged from 2.99% down to 2.85%. The lowest bidder was First Jackson Bank. It is recommended by the Deputy Committee that the bid be awarded to First Jackson Bank as the lowest responsible bidder that met specifications.
So with that being said, do I have a motion to approve First Jackson Bank as an approved financing for the knuckle booms?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
How many?
There's 3.
Okay. We just, that way it can be in the minutes, all 3?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Item number 3, forestry proposal to approve for the bid opening. that's to approve Mr. Ryan to give them out for bid. Do we need to specify that it's for the quail?
I think that's what he had recommended, but you can, and the biggest thing is bid opening day will be June 11th.
Okay. So do I have a motion to approve the forestry proposal to approve bid opening on June 11th, based on Mr. Ryan's recommendation?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Chairman, if you would, authorize and direct the mayor and clerk to execute any and all documents.
I will add that as well. Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to know, now, are we going to put some of that money back into that place?
Yeah, we
If
can
we're
ask.
going to cut it,
Just as, we could have just a designated account for now, couldn't we?
Yeah, and he can let us know what the cost is as far as, so, you know, planting trees back or whatever.
He can break down.
He can, I'm certain he can break that down for us.
Oh, yes.
What the cost would be.
Any other discussion? We'll vote. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say no. Go to item number 4, budget amendment for the knuckle boom repairs, which is a total of $4,661.46. Do I have a motion to approve that budget amendment?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? We'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Next item is the fire department financing resolution. Basically, it's the tie-in on the resolution that the city council of the city of Scottsboro does hereby direct the mayor and the fire chief sign any and all documents. Motion to approve that.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Not, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Go to reports, Mayor.
I don't have anything else, thank you.
Mr. Bailey.
I don't have anything, just appreciate, the streets coming up on this meeting, and just glad to get that meeting going again and see what streets we can get paved this year. Thank you.
Mr. Ashburn.
Just want to remind everybody again about the account set up with water, sewer, gas, about the school resource officer. We'd like to get some more people involved in this, and it's a very worthy cause, so just want to remind everybody about that. Thank you.
Mr. Stewart.
I don't have anything tonight. Thank you all for coming.
Mr. Mashburn.
Just thank everyone for coming, and I want to again congratulate all our student athletes and the competitiveness and the will to win. We appreciate them and their parents. That's all I got.
Thank you. Just like what Mr. Kennemer, after we got finished presenting those awards, it's amazing to see how many athletes did get recognized tonight, and for our town to, I guess, go through those state champions that we have is just something miraculous, and it goes to show the athletes that we do have, and also the leadership and the coaches that we have in our education system as well. So we appreciate them. We'd like to add too, there is no meeting next Monday for the observation of Memorial Day, and our next meeting will be, work session will be June the 3rd. So with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? Second. Any discussion? If not, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. We're adjourned. Thank you all.